So we wanted to talk about some things to do in the Great Smoky Mountains. Everyone has a list of top things to do, things to avoid, but the truth is it's very subjective. But everyone is different, and even some of the easier hikes, the moderates, that when we did them the first day when we were fresh, were super easy. But as we did more hikes, progressively the moderates became harder. So we wanted to make a list of things we did in the Great Smoky Mountains and just tell you a bit about them, because everyone's different. There might be something you enjoy that we absolutely hate, and vice versa.
Right, but this is what we thought in the 4 days that we've been here is beneficial.
And again, you know what you like, we don't. So hopefully some of this information helps. So we did do a lot of hiking, and I think the nice thing about the Smoky Mountains is there's a lot of different hikes. We did a lot of moderates, some that were even moderate to hard depending on how you looked at it. Research the hikes, there's lots of different hikes.
I was just gonna say that's a really good point. Look into it.
Yeah.
Don't just show up and do it, because read reviews, read what people have said, because there's a lot of helpful tips. We used All Trails for starters. Had a lot of different points in my notes, from how far it was from our campground, how long was the actual hike itself, was it easy, hard, moderate, strenuous. So I did a lot of research, looked at a lot of different maps, tried to really figure out from point A to point B what was going to be best for us.
Yeah, and before we go into the hikes, our pro tips would be download the NPS National Park System app, and prior to leaving wherever you have internet connectivity, download all of the maps or download all of the locations you're going to for offline. Same for All Trails. You can do a free trial, so if you've never used it, wait till you get here, do the free trial. Otherwise, at least we just bought it actually. $33 for 3 years. They had a sale going on. Make sure you have it all downloaded offline and enjoy your hikes. So first up,
that was very like politician. Enjoy your hikes.
We support your hikes. So first up was Laurel Falls. It is the one that, when Mel looked it up, is listed as the most popular, and the NPS app says that as well. Primarily because there's a good payoff of a waterfall at the end, and it's listed as a moderate, but that's probably where we saw the most people actually completing it and not turning back, because it is a shorter hike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely doable. It is doable for families. It is a little bit strenuous, I think, but nothing that you can't do, honestly. Terrain is better.
Yeah, it was easy to navigate.
So that would be one of the easiest things.
Overall, the trail is in good condition, which is great. And the payoff at the end is a waterfall that you're up close to, you can touch. We saw people drinking out of it. I wouldn't advise that. Do it, skip it, or only if you have time.
I would do it if you've never been here.
Yeah. Well, if you've been here, you've probably done it.
That's true. I would do it.
I would do it just because it's a short hike and the payoff's pretty good for a really pretty waterfall. The second hike we did was the Chimney Tops.
Very hard, a lot of stairs, very
vertical.
Vertical. That's a good word.
It was very vertical. VV.
Yes. Rough terrain. Part of the trail has been closed because of a wildfire back in 2016, I believe it was. So since then they have restored part of it, but there is still a portion of it. They have not fixed it, and I don't know if there is any plans to fix it. The majority of the trail you can do.
Yeah, I would say it's probably not going to be fixed, since they built an overlook area, which was beautiful. The hike was difficult, and I don't know if it's due to the stream or just the right angles on the hill, but it was very, very windy. It was cool for most of the hike, which was great. It was really pretty to be up that high. It was challenging. We passed a lot of people just huffing and puffing, out of breath. No matter, we were them as well. We were them as well. That was definitely probably the most challenging hike we did this weekend.
That was hard.
It's not difficult in the sense of it's not 10 miles. It's not even necessarily horrible terrain. Just very vertical consistently.
Yeah.
There's very few flat parts, except for right in the beginning and then right kind of towards the top. But the entire hike is
just uphill.
Up.
Well worth it. Payoff at the end. I would definitely do it if your body can handle it.
Yeah, I would put it on the yes, I would do it, but you need to really be prepared for that one because it wasn't the easiest.
Rainbow Falls, probably both of our favorites.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And it's one we almost just didn't even do.
Just due to the wildlife, the beautiful pathways. I mean, you're going up and down steps and stones and rocks, and then you're in the woods again, and then you're not in the woods again.
Well, there's something for me that really helps me take my mind off of it when you're just hearing the water rush by.
Yeah.
It was one that, like, do we have time? Should we do it? Luckily, we pulled the trigger and did it. It was beautiful.
Stunning views. The terrain was, it's labeled as a moderate. It was okay. Honestly, I think for the most part it was fine. It was fine, yeah.
It felt, there were some vertical parts, but it did not feel nearly as bad as the chimney tops.
We definitely weren't as winded.
No.
It's cold.
It is cold. I'm trying. We did see bears. We were headed up the trail, and someone said, "Hey, just heads up, bears ahead." And we had a group or two behind us that were like, "Nope, out of here, left." The one bear was across the stream, so it was cool to see. Got into a section that kind of winded away, and there was a bear that came out of the woods. It wasn't tiny, it wasn't big. It was kind of in the medium of like, oh, cute. I don't think it would rip me apart. So we all stopped and looked, and it was far enough away that it was safe. However, as soon as we stopped to look, it was like, ooh,
he
people.
Got curious.
Yeah, he started coming at us, not in an aggressive manner, but just
he
curious.
Was just that playful, ears perked, like, what are you kind of thing. And
and curiosity is fine, but, that can go bad quick. So
where Mom was, I don't know.
We definitely we ended up grouping up with some other people because everyone kind of felt better that way. So our advice there would be prepared to see bears there because apparently it's a common occurrence. And if you're going with just 2 or 3 people in a group, try to bunch up with other people going the same pace so that, if something happens, you're better off.
And it is nice though because there are so many people because it is a popular hike. All these are, honestly, they're all pretty busy. So there's not one that you're not going to come across people. Right. So it's kind of nice though knowing that you're just not out there by yourself, and you will hopefully someone will be there.
Someone will hear you scream.
I would do it, definitely.
I would do it.
That was probably my number 1 favorite.
I would actually do this over the smoky tops or
chimney tops.
I would do the smoky tops. I would do this over the chimney tops only because I felt like the payoff might be better because of the waterfall was absolutely stunning, and overall the level of strenuous activity was significantly lower.
Take it as slow as you need to.
Yeah.
If it gets you there and you just take forever, just take forever.
But Rainbow Falls is one that we would do again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Klingman's Dome it was gorgeous. That's where we are now, and the fog is falling on us.
Yeah.
We came here for sunrise. It was an hour from the campground.
This was clear earlier.
Yeah, it was clear. So we got here, we left the camper at 5, got here around 6. It's a very short hike up, but it feels like it's almost straight up the hill, but it was beautiful.
Very beautiful. If you do get motion sickness, it is very windy roads, and I struggle with that a lot.
Mel is very prone to motion sickness. Even I felt a little woozy just how windy it was. It was worth it though to see the sunrise. It was absolutely beautiful.
I don't know that I would do it any other time.
Well, you can do sunset, but sunrise was cool.
I would say aim for if you can.
Just keep in mind that whatever time sunrise is, you probably want to put a half hour in front of that just to make sure that you can watch the entire sunrise, but then probably another 20 minutes in front of that to actually hike up the hill.
Look at the weather. You are not guaranteed visibility.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed like, wow, this was beautiful, and on the way down I was looking at some of the reviews, and we almost came yesterday and didn't, and we lucked out because someone said they came and due to the fog they could not even see the sun. So we missed that, which is good. Skip, do, or only if you have time.
I'd say do, especially if you have kids, because it is very much a doable walk. It is a definite incline, and that is hard, but it's very short.
You just need to keep everyone moving for 15 to 20 minutes opposed to 2 hours. Yeah. Mel was looking up where to find bears, and Cades Cove is the first thing that pops up every time you look. You can go drive through there all day. It's a scenic drive. There are a day or 2 a week where it's closed for bike riders, but other than that, you can just drive through it.
It's 11 miles.
Everything I read said the best time to see a bear is first thing in the morning or just before sunset. So we, on a whim, because it was an hour away from the campground and couldn't stack things the other days, just took off right before it closed and headed there.
And actually weren't even going to do it at all.
Yeah, we almost skipped it. And all Mel wanted to see was a bear, and as we were going through, just luck of where we fell in line, we were 2 or 3 cars back and someone spotted a bear, which made Mel's trip. It was a really cool drive, and the nice thing is dogs aren't typically allowed within the park system in general. However, they do allow you to bring a dog with you in the car, so we brought our dogs and they got to drive through with us. Ella got to see a bear. It was a good time.
And they are allowed in the parks in some areas, but most trails don't allow them. They say it's the most scenic drive. I think it is.
It was cool.
It's very pretty.
It's free.
And it's free. Well, the whole Smoky Mountains is, at Sugarlands visitor area, they also have horseback riding, which we did. They open at 9 o'clock. I recommend getting there right when they open.
Actually, we got there a half hour before they opened, and they were already taking tickets. So get there before they open.
Yes, and because it gets backed up really quick. You can either do an hour and a half, or 2 hours. If I'm not mistaken, the hour one is for more beginners, and then the other two, they do recommend that you have some riding experience. Taught you how to ride. It wasn't super difficult to learn. I've never ridden a horse before yesterday, and it was amazing.
They were on autopilot. So.
Yes. So you hop on and you quite literally horseback ride in the Smoky Mountains.
Which is awesome.
Which is really cool.
But definitely get there before open, even a half hour before open, because us getting there a half hour before open was the difference between showing up in a stable full of horses, 20, 30 horses, and then just an hour later coming back down the hill and 2 to 3 horses there. People that were pulling in who were opting out of staying to wait because the wait was that long. So get there early if you can. It's a lot of fun, takes an hour, and something that everyone can really do.
Yeah.
Downtown Gatlinburg. It was okay.
It's the typical commercialized tourist
If you've been to
street.
Like downtown Nashville or Vegas, it's a mix of those.
They have your typical restaurants, Ripley's, things like that are fun for kids, but I don't think you need to go to those in every city.
No, actually, you're right. It's more like the boardwalk in
it's like Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach's boardwalk, minus the boardwalk.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. You can do it to say you did. The area is nice. I mean, it's a really nice area, but it also leads up to the Sky Bridge.
Yeah.
So, Sky Bridge, you take a ski lift up, walk along, I believe it's 700 feet of the longest suspension bridge. It was fun.
Yeah, I think it was
great views.
$30
really
per
great.
person, and it was okay.
Great views. But again, if you aren't planning on doing hikes, that's one way to be able to see the mountains without having to be up in them.
That's the one thing we talked about was it was cool to go up and see the Sky Bridge. It was cool to do the ski lift up. Personally, I could do without.
Would you do it again?
I would not do it again.
Okay.
However, if for whatever reason you don't like hiking, you're not physically able to do hiking, I think it's a really good way to get up to the mountains to see the mountains.
You don't like hiking.
Or you don't like hiking. I think then the Sky Bridge is a really good way to get really great views that you're probably not going to get anywhere else. We went to Peddlers for dinner.
Peddlers Steakhouse.
Which Mel was excited because they had a salad bar. It was very old school salad bar. It was really good though.
Good.
The food was good. Prices were okay.
Yeah, actually it wasn't, for a steakhouse, it wasn't, I don't think, overpriced by any means. We've had some really expensive steaks at very expensive places, and this, I feel, middle of the road pricing for very good food.
So if you're looking for a steakhouse, we like steak. This was a good steak. The prices were reasonable. Just make sure you book it ahead of time. On the topic of food, we also went to downtown Flavortown. Now, anyone that knows us knows that Mel and I absolutely love Guy Fieri. We watch a lot of diners, drive-ins, and dives. We just like his personality. Seems like an all-around cool dude. So when Mel said, hey, there's a downtown Flavortown, let's go. So we went, and I really enjoyed it.
It was actually really good. The food was delicious. For burgers, we're also very picky on our burgers, and I'm not surprised Guy did it right.
Yeah, for what would probably be considered like chain quality food, it was better than most of the chain food we've had.
There's an arcade and a bowling alley.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun things.
It was like a mini Dave and Buster's.
Yes. The area does get busy, and reservations fill up.
But it was cool to do, just because we like him. So
great food.
So we're staying at the Pigeon Forge Gatlinburg KOA, and it's been really, really nice.
It's a great park. It's crowded, but they have a pool, they have laundry, dog park.
Couple dog parks.
They have a couple dog parks, and then they also have sites that have like their own personal dog
premium sites.
well. The KOA is actually pretty conveniently located to everything. It's only taken us about 15-20 minutes to get to and from the park.
The KOA is, I think, a 5 to 7 minute drive from the entrance to the national park.
We're in the Pigeon Forge area, which is also close to the island of Pigeon Forge, which is a bunch of shops, restaurants. They had Old Smoky, Moonshine Tastings. They had your typical candy stores. I bought honey.
We did the Moonshine Tasting, which was funny. We had a bartender who was absolutely hilarious. So
She's great.
and it was only $5.
$5 for, I think, 9.
I mean, they're like
they're just tiny.
As much as I didn't care for the Gatlinburg, downtown Gatlinburg, the islands of Pigeon Forge, I think I liked it better.
But definitely something to do because there is like a little mini amusement park in there. Again, fun for kids. Great area. What are your general thoughts on the Smokys?
I loved it. Truthfully, I never know what to expect because I only generally know what we're doing. Mel does all of the trip planning. I do all of the actual route planning, how we get there, all of the stops, and then I drive us there. So I let Mel burden the responsibility of picking all the cool things to do. No pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. Wasn't sure what to expect. I knew Mel said we were going to do some hikes, and we like to hike. We hike at home. These were definitely at the top of... These are probably the best hikes we've done.
Yeah.
They were absolutely gorgeous. I love the Smokys.
Yeah.
More than I thought I would. There's so much to do here. Especially if you like to hike, there's so many hikes to do. This isn't something, even us being here for 5 days, only barely dipped our toe in. You would need...
They're huge.
You need to come back multiple times or a month here even, just hiking every single day to cover all those. It was a lot of fun. I think there's just something really cool, whether you're hiking or horseback riding or even just at the visitor centers, driving through the hills.
And
there's something just cool about being in the mountains.
Yeah, and stopping off at some of the ledges here that you can park, and they have beautiful scenic views. Again, if you want to just drive through them and look around, do that.
If you don't want to hike, I still think you can get a lot out of the Smoky Mountains. Every couple of minutes there's a pull-off where you can overlook and see some absolutely stunning views. We're really high up there, but some of the overlooks, I mean, you could just park, get out and take pictures and see the clouds coming over the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really versatile, and I absolutely love the Smokies.
Yeah, we will definitely come back. I absolutely loved the scenery. The hikes were beautiful. The mountains are just stunning. I didn't know what to expect, really. I knew that the views were going to be great. I underestimated it, honestly.
Yeah.
And there's so much to do. I was overwhelmed planning this, actually. But all in all, it doesn't matter. Just go and do it, see what happens.
Any of the hikes we did were stunning. Like, if we would have just done the Laurel Falls, I'd been like, that was really cool to see. That's a hike worth doing. And I can say that about every single one of them. So I don't know that there's going to be a bad hike here.
No.
And I think, again, that's the great thing. There's just so many
Pick
different...
one and just go. If that's what you want to do, if that's on your top 5 list of things to do, just go and do it. And especially here, because if you wait 1 more second or 2 more seconds, you might miss a bear. So
Yeah.
just go and do it.
Yeah. There's nothing we've done here so far that we regret. So
No.
just pick a bunch of things, whether you Google top things to do or you watch this video and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go check those hikes out. So hopefully some of this is helpful. Again, it's not the top things, it's not the worst things, it's just the things we did and what we enjoyed about each of those things. If you have any thoughts, you've been here before and there's things that we missed or we should do next time we're back, please let us know. On the other side, Mel is absolutely fantastic at planning and advice around things to do and see, and knock on wood, the 3 years we've been camping, I don't think she's picked her bad thing yet. So if you have any questions about what we did or maybe want more information or recommendations, then send us a message. Happy to help. We've had a good time. So hopefully this helps you, and if you have any questions, just let us know.